Hi, and welcome back to Learn English Hub. Today, we're tackling prepositions, those tiny words that cause huge mistakes. In this lesson, I'm not just going to list them. I'll explain what they mean, show you how to use them, give lots of examples, and point out the things learners always get wrong. By the end, you'll have practice lines to repeat and real rules you can use in your head. Ready? Let's go. First, prepositions of place. When we talk about where something is, English uses in, on, and at. They look similar, but they are about how specific the place is. I'll show you the difference and give real examples. Use in when something is inside boundaries or an area, like a box, a room, a city, a country, a building, or a container. Think enclosed or surrounded. Here are some examples. The keys are in my bag. She lives in London. There is sugar in the jar. He's swimming in the pool. So if you can imagine drawing a border around it, that's in. London has borders. A bag has sides. A jar has walls. Use on when something is touching a surface or sitting on a line or level, like a floor number or a page. Think on the surface. And an extra tip, the surface doesn't have to be horizontal. It can be a vertical surface too. Let's look at some examples. The book is on the table. There's a sticker on my phone. We live on the 3rd floor. Her name is on the list. If the object or person rests on top of something, that's on. Floors, tables, walls, lists, surfaces, you name it. It's incorrect to say, I put it in the table. We should say, I put it on the table. Use at for a specific point. A meeting point, an address, an event location. At is less about the area and more about the exact spot. For example, meet me at the station. She's at the door. I work at the hospital. We'll be at the front desk. Imagine a dot on a map. That dot is at, not the whole city or the whole building, the point. Okay, now it's time for some quick practice. I'll say the sentence and you repeat after me. The coffee is in the cup. The phone is on the table. I'll meet you at the bus stop. That's great. Now remember, think as a tip, box, in, surface, on, point, at. Now, the same 3 prepositions, in, on, and at, but for time. They're used differently. In is used for long periods. On is used for days and dates. At is for exact times. Let's explain. Use in for months, years, seasons, and long periods, not specific days. Let's look at some examples. I was born in 1990. We go skiing in winter. I'll finish the project in 2 weeks. She arrived in the morning. We use on for days and dates, so specific days. Let's look at some examples. The party is on Saturday. My birthday is on March the 4th. We met on Christmas Day. We'll travel on weekends. Here's a tip. The weekend, there are 2 specific days, Saturdays and Sundays. We use on for specific days, so we can say on the weekend. Good. But in English, it's also possible to say at the weekend. So we use at for exact clock times and moments, like 7 o'clock, lunch, midnight, etc. Here's some examples. The film starts at 7 p.m. She called me at noon. I woke up at midnight. The train arrives at 9:15. Okay, let's do another quick practice. Repeat after me. I was born in 2000. I'll see you on Tuesday. Be here at 6 o'clock. So remember, for specific days and dates, we use on. For a precise and exact time, we use at. And for a long period of time that's not specific, we use in. Movement prepositions tell direction, where something goes from and to. A small change in preposition gives a totally different meaning. Look carefully. To indicates movement toward a destination or target. Let's look at some examples. I'm going to work. She traveled to Paris. Give this letter to John. He walked to the window. So for all verbs that show movement and direction, we use the preposition to. Move to, go to, walk to, take the plane to. It's a very common mistake by learners to say go at or go in. But no, we always say go to somewhere. So the preposition from shows where something starts, its origin or source. For example, I'm from Brazil. The flight came from Madrid. She borrowed the book from the library. I received a letter from my friend. Use the preposition into when someone or something moves inside an enclosure. So a change from outside to inside. Here are some examples. She walked into the room. He jumped into the pool. The mouse ran into the hole. Pour the water into the glass. So for example, we use I went into the room if describing movement from outside. Use in if you are describing location after movement. So I went into the room. Now I am in the room. Onto is a movement that results in something being on top of a surface. For example, the cat jumped onto the table. She climbed onto the roof. Place the books onto the shelf. He stepped onto the platform. So don't mix onto with on. The cat is on the table. The cat jumped onto the table. It's that movement. Through means moving inside something and coming out the other side. Inside and out. For example, we drove through the tunnel. She walked through the crowd. Light passes through glass. He looked through the window. Here's a tip. If there are sides, you can enter and exit. It's through. Across means movement from one side to the opposite side of an area, surface, or stretch. For example, she ran across the street. They paddled across the lake. A bridge across the river. He spread butter across the bread. So don't say, I walked through the bridge. Use across for surface crossing. Okay, time for a little practice. Say these after me. I went to the shop from my house. She jumped into the pool and swam across it. The car drove through the tunnel and came out onto the road. Good. Notice how every preposition changes the movement. Okay, so some verbs are glued to specific prepositions. We call these collocations. You can't translate them word for word from many languages. Let's learn the most useful ones and why they are used. So, number one, depend on. Depend on means your result is affected by something. For example, it depends on the weather. Success depends on practice. The answer depends on your situation. A common error by English learners is they use depend of. This is wrong. We always say depend on. Number 2, wait for. Wait needs for when it has an object. For example, I'm waiting for the bus. She waited for 2 hours. Wait for me. A common error by English learners is they say wait me. No, we say wait for me. Number 3, listen to. Listen and to when focused on sound. For example, listen to the music. He listens to podcasts. Listen to your teacher. A common mistake by English learners is they don't use the to after listen. They just say listen, music. Remember, listen to music. Number 4, think about or think of. Small difference. Think about is to consider, to reflect. For example, I'm thinking about moving. Think of is to have an idea or opinion. What do you think of this design? Let's look at some more examples. I'm thinking about my future. What do you think of this movie? Think about the consequences. So here's a tip. Learn phrases, not single words. Number 5, agree with or agree to. The difference? Agree with a person or opinion. For example, I agree with you. We agree to a plan or a term. For example, they agreed to the contract. Let's look at some more examples. She agrees with his opinions. We agreed to the proposal. Do you agree with me? Great. Those small prepositions make a big difference. Now the part where I save you. These are real mistakes I hear every day and how to fix them. Mistake number 1, good at versus good in. We use good at for skills. Good in sometimes for subjects in some dialects, but native usage is good at for abilities. Let's look at some examples. She is good at tennis. He's good at cooking. She is good in tennis. Mistake number 2, married to, not married with. Use married to for your spouse. Some languages use married with, but in English, it's to. Let's look at some examples. He is married to a doctor. They are married to each other. He is married with a doctor. Mistake number 3, wait for. Always wait for an object. Let's look at some examples. I'm waiting for my friend. Wait for the green light. I'm waiting my friend. Mistake number 4, in versus at with places. Learners say in the station or at the station interchangeably. It's subtle. At the station, a specific point. I'm at the station. It means outside or near to. In the station means I'm inside the building. I'm in the station. Let's look at some more examples. Meet me at the station, outside the station. I'm in the station. Maybe I'm buying a ticket. Prepositions are unstressed words in English. We say them quickly and lightly. Don't overemphasize them. For example, I'm going to the shop. The to is light in fast speech. We don't say I'm going to the shop. Okay, now active practice. I'll say a sentence with a blank. You repeat the full sentence with the correct preposition. I'll pause after each one. She arrived the airport at 9. She arrived at the airport at 9. There's a spider, the ceiling. There's a spider on the ceiling. Put the fruit, the fridge. Put the fruit in the fridge. He came, Spain last week. He came from Spain last week. We drove the tunnel. We drove through the tunnel. The cup fell, the table, the floor. The cup fell off the table onto the floor. I'm thinking changing my job. I'm thinking about changing my job. It depends. The weather. It depends on the weather. Good. If you hesitated, note which prepositions are giving you trouble and practice those sentences 5 times. Remember, the best way to improve in something is practice. Make it become a habit and we'll become so much more comfortable using it naturally. Okay, so some special cases and tricks you should know. Special case 1, at home, in hospital. Different dialects differ. British English often says in hospital when you are admitted. American English, in the hospital. But at home is common in both. So in British English, we say he's in hospital, and in American English, we say he's in the hospital. I'll be at home tonight. Special case number 2, locations with institutions. At is used for activities, like at school, meaning attending. In is used for being inside the building. Context matters. For example, she is at school. It means she is attending school. She is in school, which is less common, often means that she is enrolled. So he is at university or he is in university. Both can be used. Use according to dialect and meaning. Special case 3, collocations that don't follow logic. English sometimes ignores logic. Learn these as chunks. Interested in, afraid of, good at, proud of. No rule, just memorize them. So, 3 quick habits that improve your prepositions. Learn chunks, phrases, not single words. Wait for, depend on, etc. Copy native speakers. Notice which prepositions they use and repeat them. Record yourself. Play back and correct wrong prepositions. Also, make a list of 10 sentences you use often about work, family, hobbies, and practice them with correct prepositions every day. That's it. A deep practical guide to English prepositions. If one preposition confused you today, write it in the comments and I'll make a mini lesson on it. If you like this lesson, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who keeps saying in Monday. I'll see you in the next video.